everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. I'm your host, Sean McGahee, and this is a show where we talk about movies, TV, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. I am joined on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon by the... What do I want to call you?
I don't know.
I always call you something different.
No, you always call me the same thing.
No, I go one of like three things
anyway,
I call you. This is Lisa Locke McGahee, everyone. Yes. All right, guys. So, on today's show, we're going to do a little celebrating, actually, because yesterday was the fictional birthday of one Henry James Potter. Is that his name?
Harry?
Harry? No. We're going to learn who he's really named after.
His name is Harry, though.
Anyway.
I don't care who he's named after. His name is Harry.
His middle name's James, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, see, I got that part right. Okay, so yesterday was the fictional birthday.
Harry's 37th birthday.
Harry Potter, okay, which coincides because today, this year is the 20th anniversary of the franchise, June 26th to be official. So 20 years, Harry Potter has been part of our lives, and let's put it right there. There you go. Okay. All right, guys. So we're gonna run through some recent Harry Potter, or I guess Wizarding World news, and we'll go from there. But before we start, any comments, Lisa, as far as 20 years of Harry Potter?
I don't know. I mean,
I'm not 40, but you know.
Whatever. I love Harry Potter, so I am super grateful that the story got written and that J.K. Rowling got the opportunity to put this amazing story that she had in her mind, put the pen to paper, because I love it. Like, I love Harry Potter. I love the world of Harry Potter. And just to say, I love J.K. Rowling. She's amazing. The tweets that she puts out there bashing our president are epic. And I love it. Like, she's a smart lady. And she is like, I just feel like she's a role model for a lot of women out there in general. She is she's a strong woman. She does what she wants. For somebody who's made the amount of money that she has, the amount that she has donated to different charities and organizations, like, she's very generous, and I love Harry Potter and everything about it.
Cool.
So yay for...
Okay.
I hope there's many more stories to come.
Okay, we'll find out about that on today's episode. All right, guys, so starting off, to coincide with the 20th anniversary back on June 26th, Miss Rowling herself posted on the Pottermore site a little bit of information about how Harry got his name, actually. He's actually named after his grandfather, Henry Potter, which is why I said Henry earlier.
Yeah, but that's not his name.
All right, well... Anyway, so Henry was back during World War I age, and he actually is kind of, what I want to say, a pioneer himself in the wizarding world, where he caused quite a stir when he publicly condemned the Minister of Magic at the time, who was Arthur Evermond, who had forbidden the magical community to help Muggles waging the First World War. Henry was outspoken on behalf of the Muggle community, and was a strong contributing factor to the Potter's family exclusion from the Sacred 28, which I had no idea what that was until I read this little blurb saying the Sacred 28 is a, compendium of truly pure bloodlines within the world of Harry Potter. Not only is this we find out how Harry got his name, but also it's going to see how we see the Potter's exclusion from the Sacred 28. Have you heard of the Sacred 28?
Yeah, I read about it before. It's briefly mentioned on some other things too, because the Malfoys and the Blacks are descended, like, they're from those purebred lines. Okay,
but the Potters, they're purebloods, but they're not in it now because of what Henry said about it. Okay, I gotcha. But yeah, she went into a little more detail, looks like, as far as the Potter bloodline. Looks like who was referencing Ralston Potter as well, and a few other people to go along with that. But yeah, so she's given us a little bit of insight into the Potter family tree. Add another branch to Pottermore, something that Lisa would know because she's never on Pottermore anymore.
Because there's not an app.
But anyway, how do you feel about this news going into diving into more of the Potter family?
I feel like I really love the Wizarding world in general, but Harry's story is obviously, he's the character we know best. Uh-huh. So I like any bits and pieces that she gives us that are into Harry's backstory. Just because, I mean, not necessarily that we all like Harry best, but we just know him best.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think all these little bits and pieces that she's kind of pulling out to show us his lineage, I think it's really interesting. I mean, especially because in the books, some of the most interesting parts I thought were when she was delving into, Voldemort's backstory. So I think getting more of Harry's backstory just to show how, although they had very similar. I mean, that's something that the books talks about a lot. How Harry and Voldemort had very similar childhoods, very similar experiences, but they turned out very different. And I think when you look at their lineage, it kind of explains why they were so different, even though they were raised in similar situations. You know, we have the backstory of Voldemort's family. We understand why he turned out to be such a douchebag. But, now we're seeing Harry's backstory, and you can understand why he turned out to be such a good guy. I mean, his family, he comes from
good stock. All right, fair enough. All right, guys. Continuing on with the... What? Oh, you're looking
I just realized you're wearing a new shirt.
Yes, I got this today at the Five Below.
All right.
So I thought it was cool. I was in there to, pick up a few other things, and I was like, oh, this is only $5. I'll pick up this cool Star Wars shirt.
Okay, well, you have to put a picture of it now on the thing.
Okay.
I just totally paused in the middle to look at your new shirt.
All right, fair enough. All right, guys, continuing in the Wizarding world, a couple weeks ago, Variety reported that principal photography has begun on the sequel for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. We're not sure what the official name for this film is yet, but we did give it a brief synopsis of the film, saying, quote, Grindelwald has made a dramatic escape and has been gathering more followers to his cause, elevating wizard all above non-magical creatures. The only one who might be able to stop him is the wizard he once called his dearest friend, Albus Dumbledore. But Dumbledore will need help from the wizard who thwarted Grindelwald once before, his former student, Newt Scamander. The sequel is set to take place in the 1920s Paris and also New York City. We're going to see the return of the four main leads, Eddie Redmayne, Catherine Watterson, Alison Sudol, and Dan Fogler, as well as Ezra Miller and Zoe Kravitz. And then, of course, Jude Law has been tapped to play Dumbledore. And from the last film, we know that Johnny Depp is set to play Grindelwald. The still untitled sequel, the second of supposedly of 5 films, is going to come out November 2018. Lisa, what do you think about the synopsis for this sequel?
I mean, the synopsis is pretty vague.
Pretty generic, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it says anything we didn't already know was coming. But, I mean, I'm excited for the sequel. I think it looks good. I mean, I'm not really sure how they're going to play Newt Scamander into this. I kind of thought he was going to have a hiatus on this film, and it was going to be Grindelwald and Dumbledore. I mean, Dumbledore doesn't need his help, for real.
So in the lore of Dumbledore versus Grindelwald, there was no Newt Scamander.
There was no mention of it. Doesn't mean it wasn't there. There was. I mean, it was the details of the epic battle between Dumbledore and Grindelwald is very vague in the story. There's not any detail given, really. You just know that Dumbledore tried to put it off because Grindelwald was his friend and he didn't want to fight him until he finally couldn't ignore it anymore and he had to fight him, and obviously he won. And it doesn't mention that he had any help, but it doesn't say he didn't have any help either. I just don't believe he needed any help.
Well, you got to bring him in. I mean, he was the star of the first film.
I guess. So. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know. I mean, I think it sounds good. I'm excited. I love the casting of Jude Law as Dumbledore. I think that's gonna be great. I'm still kind of not quite sure about Johnny Depp as Grindelwald, and I'm wondering how Ezra Miller is playing back into this.
Yeah, because he allegedly was, spoiler alert, destroyed in the previous film. I don't know how they're going to bring him in.
I don't know how they're going to play that into it, and I'm wondering why it's going to be set in Paris, but I'm curious to find out. Maybe
the cast and the crew wanted to go to Paris. They're like, hey, let's make this in Paris so we can go to Paris.
Guess so.
Could be. I mean,
I am glad though that Dan Fogler's going to be back.
Yeah.
Because I was really hoping that they were going to get him back into it because I really liked his character.
He was, of course.
He was really...
He was our point of view character. He did very well, with comic relief. His relationship with the actress Allison was good. So, good to see him back. With this synopsis, to me, I want to see the beginning. In this world, we have Grindelwald and Dumbledore, and Grindelwald's already revealed himself to be a bad guy. I would much rather see, the beforehand when they were friends, and I'm sure we're going to get flashbacks of that and stuff like that.
Yeah, but we don't need that. That's in the book.
Who reads the books? I'm just saying, a person who, what?
This is new, though. I'm trying to explain to you why they're not doing the backstory of how Grindelwald and Dumbledore became friends, because that's in the books. This is supposed to be new stuff.
Okay, but
people do read the books. Mr. Who reads the books? Do you know how much? Let's just look up the sales on the Harry Potter books.
Let's look up how many percentage of people see the movies versus percentage of the people read the books. I'm just saying, you can say they don't have to do it because it's in the books. I give you maybe 20% at the most of the people who saw this movie read the books.
I do not agree.
20%.
I do not agree.
I will lay down 20%.
I disagree with that completely. I think it is far, far higher than that.
No, I don't think it is.
I think it is.
Nope, not at all. We'll have to look it up and settle that bet. I'm just saying, I'd much rather see, you're already going to get there,
I'm not saying I don't want to see it. I'm saying they're not going to do it because this is all supposed to be new stuff. She's not taking... The books were already made into movies. So this is new. And that story is in the book. So that's why I'm saying I do not believe it will be in the film.
We didn't see it in the movie, though.
No, but it was in the book, and they already made those books into movies.
We didn't make that scene, though.
No, they didn't make that scene.
Although
they do talk about it in the movie.
Okay, that's great. They talk about a lot of stuff in Star Wars, and they still shot it for the prequels. All right, so we'll just table that discussion. We'll come back a little later. Maybe I'll post a little something on the Facebook page to see who won that 20% debate. Spoiler alert, it's going to be me.
That is ridiculous bullshit. There is no way. Do you know how many people have read these books?
Do you know how many people haven't read the books?
Yeah, but it's still...
We'll look it up. All right, moving on. Last story of the day involving the Wizarding World. Fans celebrating the 23rd anniversary of Harry Potter are going to get more books. So, looks like according to UK publishers Bloomsbury, I say it, they're planning a set of new books. However, neither of these are going to be written by J.K. Rowling herself. We're going to get Harry Potter, A History of Magic, which is going to be a coffee table book.
Original drafts of Potter books by author J.K. Rowling.
Original drafts by J.K. But she didn't write these. She didn't put the books together. So original drafts by J.K. Rowling, that's going to have stuff in there from, her original concept and ideas when she was trying to get Harry Potter going. But she's not the one putting the book together herself. As well as it's going to have essays from various parts of the exhibit. The exhibit is going to be the British Library, where you're going to be able to see all this stuff. And that's going to be on display through February 28th, 2018. The other book, A Journey Through History of Magic, is aimed for families and will examine the history of magic taught at Hogwarts alongside selected items from the exhibit. Both books are going to be out in the UK on October 20th. Sadly, neither of them, like I said, was written by Rowling herself, although it is her world, so you can say she's kind of...
They're not written by her because they're not novels. They're coffee table books.
They're like,
They're not novels. That's why they're not...
I'm just saying, if there's stuff that they have to make up for...
No, they're not. It's not novels.
But I'm just saying,
taking her information, her writings, and they're compiling it.
That's pretty much what I'm saying, is they're not going to provide any new information that wasn't already provided by Rowling herself, whether it be on the books or Pottermore or anything like that. So
it's basically a history of magic.
Yes. Okay. So the books are going to be accompanied by the British Library's exhibit celebrating the anniversary of the franchise, and it does look like they're planning to publish digital copies of the books on the Pottermore website. So you're going to pick up these coffee table books?
Probably, but I mean, I'm not super. When I saw that they were making new books, immediately I got super excited. Then I saw what they were, and I was like, meh. I want more novels by J.K. I don't. I mean, I like all the backstories. I like my little extra bits and pieces I have about, history of magic and magical creatures and Quidditch through the ages and etc. Those books that are in the book. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like those, but I would rather have a new novel. So I'm not excited about this, but I mean, of course I'm going to buy it. It's Harry Potter. Duh.
Okay, but if it's...
But this one, I don't want a digital copy. This is a coffee table book. I want an actual book.
But, okay, let's look at it. Okay, we just talked about how it doesn't have any new information. Why do you need to get it if it doesn't have anything you don't already know?
No, it does have new information. It doesn't have a new story. This book is about this exhibition. It's basically about the world of Harry Potter. So it's kind of like Pottermore in a book.
Well, it's good for you because you don't get on Pottermore, so that's good.
Right. So I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not a new novel. This is not a story. it's basically a history of magic. It's a history. It's like a Harry Potter history. It's a history of the Harry Potter world. It's a coffee table book. It's kind of, so yeah, I mean, I'll buy it. I'm sure it'll have pictures. It'll have bits and things about this exhibit that I obviously can't go to because I don't live in England. So yeah, I'm gonna buy it, but it's not a story.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. All right, fair enough. Great, cool. All right, anything else you want to add?
No.
All right, well, that's it. Nice, short, and sweet little podcast here going through the Wizarding World.
I thought you meant about that story.
No. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, is there anything else in general you want to talk about?
I don't know.
No?
I guess not. No,
Okay.
Fine.
All right. Well, I'll just, I guess we'll wrap it up then.
Okay.
Nice, short, and sweet one here today. Okay. Sorry, I drink my smoothie. Very tasty.
Right.
It's growing on me. It is. It's growing on me. All right, guys. Well, that is going to be it for today. Now it's your turn. Hit us up on dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com, the Facebook group, or on Twitter, and let us know what you think about all the recent Harry Potter or Wizarding World news. And that's going to be it for us, guys. Until next time, may the Force be with us all.